Former South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford's political career seemed to be over 4 years ago. He admitted an affair after disappearing for 5 days.
This morning, Sanford's comeback is complete. He won a special election last night for his former seat in Congress.
I am one imperfect man saved by God's grace, but one who has a conviction on the importance of doing something about spending in Washington, D.C. And it's my pledge to every one of you here from this day going forward that I am going to try and be the best congressman that I could have ever been.
Congressman-elect Mark Sanford is in Charleston, South Carolina. Good morning and congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Congressman, what do you say to your fellow Republicans who did not support you in this race?
I would say yesterday is yesterday and today is today, and I look forward to working with them is what I'd say.
Do you believe South Carolina voters said to themselves, policy is more important than character?
No, I think that they're equally important. But what they said is, you know, I think we have a tradition in the South and in South Carolina of forgiveness, that people do make mistakes. They do handle situations wrong. They do, we said, handle different things differently. But that whole notion of forgiving another person and saying, okay, let's begin this process of building and moving forward, I think is part and parcel to this larger notion of human grace, which I think is a reflection ultimately of God's grace. And what I think that they say is the guy has a well-proven track record with regard to indeed trying to do something on financial issues. And old-timer took me aside and says, look, I'm not going to judge you on your worst day any more than I'll judge you on your best day. I'm going to look at the totality, the whole of your 20 years in politics or your 52 years as a member of this community, and I'm going to make my judgment accordingly. I think that's what folks did last night.
Congressman, your personal life was part of this race. You are expected in court tomorrow to deal with charges and a complaint from your ex-wife, Jenny, that you were trespassing in her home. Did you hear from Jenny last night?
I'm not going to relay family conversations, but as what I've said before is that, you know, that's a much more complex situation than meets the eye. When you've got a dad with a son at a neighborhood Super Bowl party and he wants to go home and your former wife is out of town, you got to make the call as a dad as to whether or not you let them sit there alone for the second half of the football game alone or not. I made the calls I did as a dad, and that's why you have a family court system to decide whether it's the right call or wrong call.
And just quickly, the Washington Post said this morning that the narrative that Republicans have a woman problem will have new life with little the GOP leadership can do about it with your election. How do you respond to that?
I think it's silly. I mean, I am a candidate and now soon to be I'm a congressman-elect who had a failing in 2009. I go back to what our minister said again a while ago, which is, do the events of your life refine or define your life? I think political opponents always want to make things definitional as to who you're about or what a party's about. I think I am again, then candidate, now a congressman-elect, who has well-chronicled failings of 2009, but somebody who has learned from them, somebody who's been forgiven from them, and somebody who's going to work awfully hard to make that notion of what our minister said, make the events of your life, again, refining rather than defining.
Congressman-elect Mark Sanford, thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.